It looks like Henko van den Berg is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right. Henko van den Berg has completed their outlap. The adrenaline is pumping. James Leach is on their outlap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. James Leach is looking relatively composed going through Castrol.
I have always loved this section of the track.
James Leach appears focused and prepared driving through Sabat. This is where the mental game comes into play. Brendan Griesel is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused, while also pushing the limits.
Brendan Griesel is driving through Stanek.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
It's all about strategy in these early moments. Ernest Heather is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Ernest Heather can deliver.
Dylan Visagi is on their first flying lap.
It's certainly exciting to watch. But let's not forget, the goal is to secure a good starting position for the race.
Dylan Visagi is looking relatively composed going through Castrol.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Sean Olivier will be looking to use this first hot lap to set a solid time in the standings. Sean Olivier appears focused and prepared driving through Malmesbury Straight. Sean Olivier is driving through Stanek. This is what it's all about. Henko van den Berg is putting everything. Henko van den Berg has just completed that lap in 1:15.126. Their best lap so far is 1:15.011, putting them in P2. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. James Leach is looking relatively composed going through Castrol. Wafik Thiessen appears focused and prepared driving through Volkswagen. Ernest Heather is up -0.49. Ernest Heather is driving through Stanek. Ernest Heather has some work to do as that 1:15.395 is only good enough for 7th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they are going to find it before the session is over.
Tommy Glad is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Every driver needs something different, Lucy. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more.
Tommy Glad has some work to do as that 1:17.014 is only good enough for 10th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
Tijhan van Ruyen is trying to find that extra performance.
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
Taihan Van Ruyen is looking relatively composed going through Malmesbury Straight.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Renier Leach is looking for ways to. Renier Leach has some work to do as that 212.557 is only good enough for 6th. Renier Leach is driving through Castrol and is up minus 0.22. Michael Rust appears focused and prepared driving through Volkswagen.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
You can feel the tension building. James Leach is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. James Leach is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.39 seconds down. Sean Olivier is trying to find that extra performance.
Good question, Lucy. It's all or nothing now. They need to stay focused, hit their marks, and extract every ounce of performance from that car to move up the grid.
Sean Olivier is driving through back straight.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Dylan Bizagy is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Gerhard Niemand is on their out lap.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Gerhard Niemand is looking relatively composed going through Castrol.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Henko van den Berg is trying to find that extra performance. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Ernest Heather has some work to do as that 115.424 is only good enough for 7th. It seems like Ernest Heather is struggling, currently 0.12 off their best pace.
Ernest Heather is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
Taihan Van Ruyen appears focused and prepared driving through kink. Taihan Van Ruyen is driving through Stanek. Taihan Van Ruyen has some work to do as that 115.464 is only good enough for 8th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they're going to find it before the session is over.
Jaco Lambert is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Well, Lucy, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
Jaco Lambert is looking relatively composed going through Malmesbury Straight. Michael Rust is trying to find that extra performance. Michael Rust appears focused and prepared driving through Stanek.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Jaco Lambert is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Every driver needs something different, Lucy. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more from relaxing and being in a flow state.
Kenneth Ella is driving through start-finish. Wayne Midden is trying to find that extra performance. It looks like Brendan Griesel is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
Patience is key in these early moments, Lucy. But I have a feeling Brendan Griesel is going to make it count.
Robert Stoltz is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Good question, Lucy. It's all or nothing now. They need to stay focused, hit their marks, and extract every ounce of performance from that car to move up the grid.
Robert Stoltz is looking relatively composed going through Volkswagen. The adrenaline is pumping. James Leach is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Renier Leach has positioned themselves well in third. Renier Leach will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session. Impressive work from Dylan Visagi, who has claimed fourth on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Absolutely, Lucy. Dylan Visagi has put in a remarkable effort to secure fourth. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
A strong showing from Henko van den Berg as they currently sit in sixth. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Ernest Heather has put in a great effort and currently holds seventh. With the session winding down, time is running out for them to unleash their full potential and improve their starting position. Ernest Heather appears focused and prepared driving through Stanek. Wayne Midden has some work to do as that 1:15.501 is only good enough for 10th. It's an impressive showing by Sean Olivier, currently in second. They've showcased their talent, but will need to find those crucial extra tenths to climb higher. James Leach is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Dylan Bizaji is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Wafik Thiessen is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Dylan Conway is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Troy Starr is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Renier Leach is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. COC1, Peter, is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Killarney International Raceway as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Lining up in second is Sean Olivier. The third position belongs to Renier Leach. Sitting in fourth, it's Dylan Bizaji. On the fifth grid slot we have Gerhard Niemand. In the middle of the pack, we have Henko van den Berg starting from the sixth position on the grid.
But sometimes the underdog can surprise you. Let's see what they've got in the tank.
From the middle of the pack, we have Ernest Heather in 7th place on the starting grid. Starting from 8th on the grid is a good position for Taihan van Ruyen to launch an attack. Our 9th place starter, Wafik Thiessen, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Sitting in 10th is Wayne Midden. Starting from 11th on the grid is a tough ask for Jaco Lambert, but they're up for the challenge.
Looking forward to watching Jaco Lambert wrestle with this Polo Super Cup 2026.
James Leach SNR has some work to do from 12th on the grid, but they're not out of the race yet. Johan Niemand is placed in 13th.
The South African driver will want to show what they're made of today.
And we're off. As the race begins, drivers must be wary of aggressive moves that can lead to trouble on the first lap.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
Every lap is an opportunity for Jean-Olivier to learn just a little bit more to shave a few tenths or hundredths off their times.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended their Lucy.
The racing is normally closely fought here at Killarney International Raceway. I think we are in for a cracking race. This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it.
Every corner, every lap, and every race is a chance for these drivers to hone their abilities and improve their skills.
It looks like Henko van den Berg is making a move. The gap to Wafik Thiessen is now down to 0.1 seconds. And Henko van den Berg has just won the place from Wafik Thiessen. Oh, the pressure is intense. These three drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chestnut. Breaking news, folks. This is a disaster for COC1, Peter, in the Polo Super Cup 2026 coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race. This is going to be a nail-biter. Johan Niemand is defending for their life, but Jaco Lambert is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
The action is non-stop as Dylan Visage shadows Gerhard Niemand through every twist and turn, determined to play good.
If Dylan Visage pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Talk about being caught in the middle. Taylor Randall is sandwiched between their rivals. Michael Rust 0.2 seconds behind and Alon Bolma 0.2 seconds ahead. The battle for position is on. This is getting exciting. Henko van den Berg is looking for any gap that might open up the position.
Henko van den Berg is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Rainier Leach makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 5th.
It seems like Rainier Leach is struggling. Their last lap time was a bit off the pace of Henko van den Berg.
Hopefully Rainier Leach can find some of that time they're losing and get it back.
Excellent work from Taihan van Ruyen, who has managed to increase their lead over Wafik Thiessen. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it.
Yes, It's clear that Tihan van Rooyen is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Wayfiek to catch up.
This is what racing is all about, folks. Three fearless drivers pushing their machines to the absolute limit, inches apart.
Spot on, Lucy. This constant back...
Breaking news, folks. This is a disaster for COC1, Peter. In the Polo Supa Cup 2026 coming into the pits, isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race. The pressure is on for Dylan Visage as they try to catch up to Gerhard Niemann.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Dylan Visage needs to be careful not to overdo it.
The gap between Sean Olivier and James Leach may be wide, but that doesn't mean Sean Olivier is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the equation, James Leach can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arrive.
Heartbreak for Gerhard Niemann, as they slip down the field. Mika Allers wants to get into Troy Star slipstream. An impressive showing from Mika Allers, who has gained positions and left Troy Star in the dust.
Absolutely, Mika Allers is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There is still plenty of challenges ahead.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Ernest Heather in 7th and Tihan van Rooyen. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.4 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Tihan van Rooyen to make up that gap, especially with Ernest Heather defending so well.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Leach needs to find some speed, or maybe get more consistent. John, they have just put in a slower lap than Henko van den Berg.
It will be interesting to see if Henko van den Berg can keep outpacing Rainier Leach.
The race is heating up as Ivan Lerm in 25th closes in on Kenneth Ella. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Three cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but that's not always enough. They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing crowds.
Exactly, Lucy. It's like a high-stakes chess match on wheels. These drivers are analyzing every move and trying to anticipate their opponent's next move. It's a true test of their mental acuity.
The gap between Wayfiek and Jaco Lambert is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Wayfiek to even allow Jaco Lambert to get a look in.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Jaco Lambert is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
Even though Wayfiek is a fair way behind Johan Niemann, they can't afford to let their guard down. Johan Niemann is still vulnerable to mistakes. Disappointing for Michael Rust, they now find themselves in 15th.
That's got to be frustrating. But Michael Rust is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Rising to the occasion and claiming victory would help to cement this driver's legendary status. Some great driving from Johan Niemann, who has increased their lead over Wafik Thiessen and is starting to put some distance between them. Oh dear, Johan Niemann has dropped down to 9th. The battle for 8 is heating up as Johan Niemann tries to catch Ernest Heather in P8.
The racing is getting tight between Johan Niemann and Ernest Heather as they battle for P8. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The race is really heating up. Jaco Lambert is hunting down Wafik Thiessen with everything they've got.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds. Can Jaco Lambert close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Constant de la Porte has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Michael Rust. I expect their only hope at this point is that Michael Rust makes an error.
They certainly aren't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Michael Rust.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Dylan Conway, who is currently in P27. But Willy Van Wyck is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Dylan Conway.
That's right, Dylan Conway in 27th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch.
Braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. A strong showing from Sean Olivier, who is currently first. While Gerhard Niemann is not under immediate threat from Henko van den Berg, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
Braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The gap between Brendan Griesel and Constant de la Porte is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Brendan Griesel to bring Constant de la Porte into play.
That's right, and Constant de la Porte knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Brendan...
Braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Chantal de Jager as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time. In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown. Dylan Visage, braking alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The delta between Dylan Visage in 4th and Henko van den Berg remains over a second, but Dylan Visage is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 1 minute left in this session to make that happen. Jaco Lambert is holding 7th, but James Leach is right on their tail. Things are starting to get tense as James Leach manages to close the gap to Jaco Lambert. It's now down to 0.2 seconds.
Can they keep them behind him? Let's see.
Breaking alert. Johan Niemand is in the pits. We got a close battle. Breaking development. I don't think that's the fastest way around Killarney International Raceway. The intensity is off the charts as Tommy Glad hounds Jaco de Beer, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Henko van den Berg is looking for an opportunity to get round Gerhard Niemand. Henko van den Berg has just put in a faster lap than Gerhard Niemand, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
As long as Henko van den...
Hold on a second. That won't be ideal for Kenneth Ella. Ernest Heather is on a mission, chasing Mika Allers, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Things are heating up as Dylan Visagie closes in on Henko van den Berg. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
It's going to be a close one. Dylan Visagie will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
It looks like we might get a battle between Dylan Visagie and Henko van den Berg.
This is what racing is all about. Hard-fought battles with as much determination as respect, between friends and enemies alike.
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Sean Olivier. Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Gerhard Niemand certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result. Impressive drive from Dylan Visagie to claim the final spot on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Followed by Henko van den Berg, Renier Leach, Ty. Hold on a moment. Ernest Heather has decided to pit. 8th. Breaking news, folks. It looks like Ernest Heather has been called into the pits. Breaking update. Ernest Heather has pulled into the pits. Stop the press. Ernest Heather is in the pits. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Killarney International Raceway, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Lucy, but I'm expecting some hard-fought on-track battles today.
Mika Allers is second. Coming in at third, we have Wafik Thiessen. In fourth place, we have Jaco Lambert. Tijhan van Rooyen has qualified fifth.
Tijhan van Rooyen will be expecting to bring home solid points.
Starting from the sixth position, Renier Leach will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. In the middle of the pack, we have Henko van den Berg starting from the seventh position on the grid.
We've not seen the best from Henko van den Berg yet.
Starting from 8th on the grid is a good position for Dylan Visagi to launch an attack.
Who knows, they could be the dark horse that steals the show.
Gerhard Niemand is placed in 9th.
Gerhard Niemand will have wanted a better start than 9th.
The 10th starting position belongs to Sean Olivier, who will be looking to make up ground early on.
Gerhard Niemand isn't going to make it easy to get through the pack.
Brendan Griesel may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot. The race is on, and tensions are high as drivers navigate the first lap. One wrong move could lead to a collision in these tight quarters.
Precision is everything during these initial stages. One wrong move could cost them valuable time or even force them out of the race.
The racing is normally closely fought here at Killarney International Raceway. I think we are in for a cracking race.
I'd love to be on track burning some rubber here, Lucy.
Gerhard Niemand has nailed the start, gaining places early on. They should be pleased with that. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at SimSpeed Motorsports for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
Like gladiators, they enter Lucy, but instead of lions and swords, our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
It's been a solid race so far for Jaco de Beer. They're holding their position and keeping a steady pace.
Sometimes that's all it takes to secure a good result. Jaco de Beer just needs to stay focused and avoid any mistakes.
This is where the race gets really Stop the press. I don't think that's the fastest way around Killarney International Raceway. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Tijhan van Rooyen trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Wafik Thiessen. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Ernest Heather is placed first at the moment.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
It's a braking update. Looks like that's a mistake from Brendan Griesel. This could be costly. The pressure is on for Wafik Thiessen as they try to catch up to Mika Allers. Hold up, breaking info. Things don't look to be going Sean Olivier's way, as already they are into the pits.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
Even though Jaco Lambert is a fair way behind Renier Leach, they can't afford to let their guard down. Renier Leach is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the equation, Jacko Lambert can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Things are heating up as Dylan Visagi closes in on Michael Rust. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. The tension is building as Tommy Glad trails behind Dylan Visagi. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Dylan Visagi is pushing to maintain the lead, while Tommy Glad is working to close in and challenge for the position. Talk about being caught in the middle. Dylan Visagi is sandwiched between their rivals, Michael Rust 0.2 seconds behind and James Leach 0.2 seconds ahead. The battle for position is on. Hold your breath, folks. Dylan Visagi is sandwiched between two relentless competitors, Michael Rust 0.2 seconds behind and James Leach 0.2 seconds ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for every position. This is a tough break for Johan Niemand. They've just lost P11 to Taylor Randall and they have their work cut out for them now.
That's some bad luck for Johan Niemand. They just couldn't hold on to it, but they can always regroup and get on the attack.
A great moment for Johan Niemand, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Hold up, breaking info. Things don't look to be going Sean Olivier's way, as already they are into the pits.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
While Jaco de Beer is not under immediate threat from James Leach SNR, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. The delta between Kenneth Ella in 24th and Ivan Lerm remains over a second, but Kenneth Ella is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 9 minutes left in this session to make that happen. It's looking good for Willy Van Wyck, sitting in 28th. Things are going according to plan for Sean Olivier, who is currently 26th.
Definitely Lucy, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
Breaking update. That won't be ideal for Alain Bolma. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Sean Olivier in 26th chases after Dylan Conway. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Sean Olivier needs to find a way to close the gap. Alain Bolha has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Ivan Lerm. I expect their only hope at this point is that Ivan Lerm makes an error.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Alain Bolha is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
This is getting exciting. Taylor Randall is looking for any gap that might open up the position.
Taylor Randall is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Johan Niemand makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 11th.
Coming into back straight, the fight for third is heating up. Neither driver wants to be the first to blink.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. I would not bet on either racer at this point, as it's too close to call.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Gerhard Niemand gaining places and Tijhan van Rooyen losing them.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Gerhard Niemand needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
Taylor Randall is placed 12th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Wayne Midden, who is 0.3 seconds behind. James Leach SNR is holding 15th, but with Pete Thiessen is right on their tail. The gap between Henko van den Berg and Tijhan van Rooyen is razor thin as they vie for 4th in this nail-biting contest. Great driving from Henko van den Berg, who has just gained a place and moved up to 4th. Disappointing for Henko van den Berg, they now find themselves in 5th. As they speed through start-finish, Henko van den Berg is relentlessly pursuing Tijhan van Rooyen in a high-stakes battle for position. A strong showing from Ernest Heather, who is currently 1st.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
The gap between Gerhard Niemann and Tijhan van Rooyen is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Gerhard Niemann to bring Tijhan van Rooyen into play.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Oh, the frustration must be built. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Well, it doesn't look like Dylan Bizici is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone James Leach. The battle for 11 is heating up as Wayne Midden tries to catch Johan Niemann in P11.
With just 0.4 seconds between them, Wayne Midden will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
I don't think that's the fastest way around Killarney International Raceway. Henko van den Berg has just put in a faster lap than Tijhan van Rooyen, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
We will have to see if Tijhan van Rooyen has got any answers for that.
It looks like Michael Rust is pushing hard to catch up to Tommy Glad. That's not a small gap, but Michael Rust has what it takes to challenge for the position. Oh, this is getting intense. Wayne Midden is just a few car lengths behind Johan Niemann. The race is really heating up. Renier Leach is hunting down Tijhan van Rooyen with everything they've got. Renier Leach could be on a charge here, John. They have just put in a quicker lap than Tijhan van Rooyen. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for James Leach, who is currently in P6. But Renier Leach is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from James Leach. Wayne Midden appears to be trying to find a way round Johan Niemann. They could make a move on them in Sabah.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Looks like that's a mistake from James Leach. This could be costly. Wayne Midden wants to get into Taylor Randall's slipstream. What a tight spot for Wayne Midden. They have Johan Niemann right on their tail 0.2 seconds away, and Taylor Randall just inches away with a gap of 0.2 seconds. It's a true test of their racecraft.
Couldn't agree more, Lucy. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind create a dynamic situation for Wayne Mitten. They must carefully manage their position while being mindful of potential overtaking opportunities.
Talk about pressure. Wayne Mitten is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both Johan Newman. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Looks like that's a mistake from James Leach. This could be costly. It's a battle of wills out there, with Constant de la Porte trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Chantal de Jager. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
It's going to be tough for Constant de la Porte, as Chantal de Jager seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Constant de la Porte pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
This is what it's all about, folks. Henko van den Berg is in hot pursuit of Mika Allers, who's just trying to stay ahead.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Henko van den Berg must be laser focused on Mika Allers' every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
An impressive showing from Henko van den Berg, who has gained positions and left Mika Allers in the dust. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Wayne Mitten trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Taylor Randall. Breaking update. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The tension is building as Wayne Mitten trails behind Taylor Randall. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Taylor Randall is pushing to maintain the lead, while Wayne Mitten is working to close in and challenge for the position.
Indeed.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's the fastest way around Killarney International Raceway. The pursuit is on. Johan Neiman is closing the gap on James Leach SNR, determined to claim P12. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
And Tijhan van Rooyen has just won the place from Henko van den Berg.
Absolutely. Tijhan van Rooyen is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There are still plenty of challenges ahead.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics. But we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of computerized robots commenting on a race. Anything can happen.
Bad jokes notwithstanding, you have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right. Wait, fantastic move from Tijhan van Rooyen, who has just gained a position.
Impressive. Tijhan van Rooyen is really showing their skill and determination out there.
On the final lap now, and Ernest Heather looks like they might it's all over. Ernest Heather has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now. Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Mika Allers certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second place finish.
Well done to Tijhan van Rooyen for securing third place on the podium.
Fantastic result.
Henko van den Berg, Renier Leach, Dylan Visagi, and James Leach brings home 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th sees Tommy Glad, Michael Rust, Wayne Mitten, and Gerhard Niemand. In 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, it's James Leach SNR, Brendan Griesel, Taylor Randall, and Johan Niemand. Taking 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th is Wafik Thiessen, Constant de la Porte, Chantal de Jager, and Troy Starr. Jaco de Beer, Robert Stoltz, Kenneth Ella, and Ivan Lerm in 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Dylan Conway, Sean Olivier, and Willie Van Wyck take 24th, 25th, and 26th.